Okay, this is massive news, and honestly, I'm a little shocked that the Dallas Cowboys pulled this off before the combine even started. So, if you're a Cowboys fan, you need to hear every single detail of what just went down, because this changes everything for the offseason. And before I break it all down, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because here at Blue and Silver Nation, we cover every single Cowboys update the second it drops. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming out of Indianapolis this week. Alright, so here's the deal. The Dallas Cowboys just locked up Javon Williams to a 3-year, $24 million contract with $16 million of that guaranteed. And I know some of you are probably thinking, okay, cool, another contract extension, what's the big deal? But here's what nobody is talking about. The timing of this move tells you everything about where this front office is heading. And it's actually a really encouraging sign for Cowboys fans who have been frustrated for years watching this team wait until the last possible second to get anything done. Let me break down the numbers real quick because they actually matter here. 3 years, $24 million means you're looking at an average of $8 million per year for a starting running back, and the guaranteed money sits at $16 million, which gives Williams some real security, but also gives the Cowboys flexibility if things go sideways. And based on early reports, it looks like the cap hit this first year might only be around $6 million, which is incredibly manageable, and then it probably escalates to something like $8 million and then $10 million in the final year. Now, some people might look at this and say, well, that's not exactly a bargain, and they'd be right. This isn't some steal where the Cowboys got him for pennies on the dollar. But here's the thing, it's exactly what the market projected for a running back of his caliber, and the Cowboys got it done without any drama, without any holdout, without any distractions heading into the offseason. And the crazy part is, the Cowboys beat everybody to the punch. Think about the running back market right now. You've got Kenneth Walker still waiting on his deal. You've got Breece Hall who's going to want a bag. Travis Etienne is out there looking for an extension. Even some of the second-tier guys are going to be looking for paydays, and by getting this done before any of those contracts hit, the Cowboys actually set the floor for the market. Now, if you're an agent representing one of those other backs, you're not even thinking about accepting less than $8 million per year, because Dallas just established that as the baseline for a quality starting running back. The Cowboys rarely get to dictate market value like this, so the fact that they were proactive enough to lock this in early tells me something is changing in that front office, and I'm here for it. Now let's talk about what Javon Williams actually did to earn this contract, because I think some people forget just how dominant he was this past season. This man had a career year, and it wasn't even close. We're talking 252 carries, which crushed his previous career high of 217. He ran for 1,121 yards, which absolutely demolished his rookie season total. And here's the stat that really jumps off the page: 11 rushing touchdowns. That's nearly triple what he had in any other season on the ground. And when you add in his receiving scores, he finished with 13 total touchdowns, which is just absurd production for a guy who some people weren't even sure would be the starter heading into last year. His efficiency numbers were insane too. A 4.8 yards per carry average was a career high. His success rate was almost 10% higher than any other season he's ever had. His yards per touch was elite-level production. And yeah, he fumbled twice, which isn't perfect, but in the grand scheme of things, this was a guy who showed up and showed out when the Cowboys desperately needed someone to step up in the backfield. So when people try to tell you the Cowboys overpaid for a running back, just remind them of those numbers, because Williams earned every single dollar of this contract. And here's what makes this even better. Javon Williams turns 26 in April. Do the math on that for a second. This contract runs through 2028, which means the Cowboys have him locked up for his entire prime before he even hits 30 years old. And in a league where running backs fall off a cliff, once they hit that 30-year-old threshold, Dallas basically secured a top-tier back for all of his best years. That's smart business. And it's the kind of forward-thinking move that Cowboys fans have been begging this front office to make for years. So what does this mean for the rest of the roster? Because that's really the question, isn't it? Well, first and foremost, running back is no longer a need at all in any capacity. You don't need to spend a high draft pick on a back. You don't need to go shopping in free agency for a starter. You're set, and behind Williams, you still have some solid depth pieces. Jaden Blue showed flashes, Phil Maffa has potential, and one report suggested the Cowboys might also try to bring back Malik Davis on an affordable deal, which would give you a really well-rounded backfield. Heading into next season, is this the deepest running back room in the league? No, probably not, but it's good enough. And more importantly, it's stable, which is something the Cowboys haven't been able to say about many positions lately. Now here's where things get really interesting, and this is the part I want you to pay close attention to, because it could have major implications for the rest of the offseason. Javon Williams recently switched agents, and he's now represented by Nicole Lynn over at Clutch Sports. And for those who don't follow the agent world closely, Nicole Lynn is a big deal. She's done some massive contracts, including some really creative deals that benefited both players and teams. And here's why this matters for the Cowboys. Nicole Lynn also represents Tyler Booker, who Dallas drafted last year. She represents Quinn Williams, and she represents Quincy Williams too, which makes sense since Quinn and Quincy are brothers. Why am I telling you all this? Because getting this Javon Williams deal done smoothly could be a sign that the Cowboys have a good working relationship with Clutch Sports, and if that's the case, it could make extending Quinn Williams a whole lot easier. Think about that for a second. Quinn Williams is one of the best interior defensive linemen in football, and he's heading into a contract year, and if the Cowboys can get him locked up early, the same way they did with Javon Williams, that would be absolutely massive for this defense. You free up more cap certainty, you lock in a core piece for years to come, you avoid the drama of a holdout or a franchise tag situation, and you send a message to the rest of the league that Dallas is serious about keeping its best players. Now, I want to be clear because I don't want anyone to misunderstand what I'm saying here. This isn't a guarantee that a Quinn Williams extension is coming. It's not even a rumor from league insiders at this point, but the connection through Clutch Sports is real. And the fact that the Cowboys just did business smoothly with that agency is a promising sign. At the very least, it suggests that the Cowboys seem to be in good standing with Nicole Lynn and her team. And in the NFL, where relationships matter as much as money, that could be the difference between getting a deal done and watching a star player walk in free agency. So, let's zoom out and look at the big picture here, because I think this move represents something larger than just one running back contract for years. Cowboys fans have watched this team operate in a very specific way. Wait until the last minute. Let negotiations drag out. Go bargain bin shopping when they finally do spend money. Let stars walk, because you didn't want to pay market value. It's been frustrating, and it's been a pattern that has cost this team real opportunities to compete for championships. But this Javon Williams deal feels different. Getting it done before the combine, getting it done before free agency, even opens setting the market instead of reacting to it. This is the kind of proactive, aggressive team building that wins in this league. And if this is a sign of how the Cowboys are going to operate moving forward, then I'm genuinely excited about what's coming next. Now the combine is coming up, and that's where things really start to heat up. You've got teams talking to free agents under the table. You've got trade discussions happening in hotel lobbies. You've got front offices laying the groundwork for the moves they're going to make in March, and for the Cowboys having the running back position locked up means they can focus their energy on other priorities. Maybe that's working on a George Pickens trade. Maybe that's locking up Jadeveon Clowney to come back. Maybe that's pursuing an outside free agent at a position of need. Whatever it is, the Cowboys can now operate from a position of strength instead of desperation. And that matters more than people realize. Let me ask you something, and I genuinely want to know your answer. Are you happy with this deal? Like really happy? Or are you someone who thinks $8 million a year for a running back is still too much in today's NFL? I've seen both takes online, and honestly, I understand both sides. Running backs are devalued in the modern game. You can find production in the draft committee approaches, work just fine for most teams. All of that is true. But I also think having a guy like Javon Williams who can carry the load, who can close out games, who can be a true three-down back that has value, that doesn't always show up on a spreadsheet, and when you can get that guy locked up for his entire prime at a price that doesn't cripple your cap, I think you do that deal every single time. Here's my final take on all of this. The Dallas Cowboys did something unexpected. They were proactive, they were aggressive, they made a move before they absolutely had to, and they got it done at a fair price for both sides. Javon Williams gets financial security and the chance to continue building his legacy in Dallas. The Cowboys get a Pro Bowl caliber running back locked up through his prime years, without any of the drama that usually comes with contract negotiations in this building, and the rest of the offseason now opens up with one less problem to solve and one more reason to believe that maybe, just maybe, this front office is finally starting to operate like a championship caliber organization. Look, I've been covering this team for a while, and I've seen a lot of off-seasons start with hope and end with disappointment. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this one contract means the Cowboys are going to win a Super Bowl. That would be ridiculous. But what I will say is this: the way you build a winner is one smart move at a time, one good decision after another, one less distraction, one more piece of the puzzle falling into place. And today, the Cowboys made a smart move. They made a good decision. They removed a distraction. They added a piece to the puzzle. And if they keep operating like this throughout the rest of the offseason, then yeah, I think Cowboys fans have real reason to be optimistic about what's coming next. So, drop a comment below and let me know what you think about this deal. Are you giving it an A or a B, or are you one of those people who thinks they paid too much? I want to hear from you because that's what makes this community so great. We can disagree, we can debate, but at the end of the day, we're all Cowboys fans who want the same thing. We want this team to win, and if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that button, because we're going to have coverage from the Combine all week long and you don't want to miss a single update. Let's go Cowboys, and I'll see you in the next one.